Hi everybody, Jared Johnson with Day Traders FX here. Welcome to this video. In this one, we're going to discuss how to place limit or pending orders in Metatrader 4. In some of the other videos, we've talked about how to place market orders and some of that. We're going to talk specifically about, number one, how to actually place a pending order in Metatrader. And number two, the various kinds of order types that we have for these pending orders. So let's get right down to it. Just like if we are placing a market order in Metatrader, like we discussed in the previous video, we go up here to New Orders, and we're up here in New Orders. If we want to get in, like we talked about in the past video with, at market price, we just leave it at market execution right there. And that'll get us in if we hit buy market. We're in immediately for a buy trade, sell, we're immediately in for a sell trade. That's it, done. If we want to place a pending order, we click on this market execution and we go to pending order, pending order. So we click on that pending order right there, and that's going to bring up a slightly different window now. So what we have here under this pending orders, we have some of the same stuff up here, right? Which is trade size. We can increase or decrease our trade size through the volume area over here. We've of course got our symbol. We can change it to any different symbol, but as I mentioned previously, I always want to trade from the chart that I'm looking at. I don't want to try to place an order on a chart that I'm not looking at. So I'm pretty much never going to change that symbol, but I will change volume very often. We can put our stop losses and our take profits in before or after we place the trade, whatever one we want to do. But with pending order, we end up with this stuff right here. And this is what is interesting. So we have two kinds of pending buy orders and two kinds of pending sell orders. So you can see a buy limit and a buy stop and a sell limit and a sell stop. Now let's talk about what those are. Once we place the order and we tell it what price we want to get in and where our stop loss and so on is going to be, then we just hit place, and that will show the order down in our in our trade area at the bottom. But let's talk about when we need to use one versus the other. Why would I use a buy limit versus a buy stop? Some of you are very familiar with this, some of you are not. Let's review it. Let's go to the charts for a second. Here is, just for the sake of example here, we're looking at the pound dollar, right? We're looking at the pound dollar on the 1 hour chart. And if we say, hey, Mr. Pound Dollar, I think that this chart is going to continue to go higher. And so what I want to do is, follow this trend. We've had this kind of movement, and I think it's going to continue going up like that, right? And so we say, okay, there's a trend to be had here. So what we might do is we might try to identify some sort of area that we want to get in on the pullback. If we want to stay with this uptrend that's kind of been happening there, we're going to want to get in on that pullback. And so maybe we go over here and we say, okay, here is, here's some support, here's some resistance, and now it's acting as support. That's great. That's a good zone. And so we go over here and we say, all right, that's the spot that I want to buy a pullback. I want to buy a pullback right here. So what we would do is if we want to get in at a lower than current market price, that's so key, then what we do is we would place a buy limit order. So I'm going to go right here to new order, pending, and under pending order, this is a buy limit. A buy limit would be buying the pullback, buying the dip. In very specific terms, we're going to be buying in at a lower than current market price area. Right now, current market price, you can see over here, is about 134.80. If we wanted to get in at 134.00 or 134.50, this is going to be a buy limit. Now, don't worry, this isn't going to let you place the order wrong. If you're saying, yes, that's what I want to buy the dip, and you put a buy stop, it's not going to let you place the order. It'll say invalid order, incorrect, all of that stuff. I can try it right now. We'll say 134.50, right? That's about 25 pips below current market price, and I say a buy stop for that. It's going to come back and say invalid stop loss or take profit or whatever. And that just means that this is not correct. So it won't let you do it incorrectly, which is good. So what we have here then is A buy limit, we want to buy the dip, so we'd put buy limit, and I might put 134.50 or 134.00. You know, I want to get it down just a little bit more. I could put my stop loss in there. We'll say one, just for the sake of ease, 133.00. Profit target 135.00. So I've got 100 pip stop loss, 100 pip profit target, and I'm going to hit, and that's a buy limit. I want to buy the pullback. I'm going to hit place, and that's going to show up right down here. Now, that's going to be below these details here, like my account balance and all that stuff. It'll be below that. And you won't see, you'll know that this is a pending order because number one, it's going to say buy limit under type instead of just buy or sell. It'll say buy limit or buy stop or sell limit or sell stop. So we know that's a pending order that hasn't been filled. And number two, we also see this right here. There's no numbers under our profit or loss column right there. So if we don't have numbers, then we know that that's a pending order. And right here it says buy limit, so that's all good. So buy limit is buying the dip, buying the pullback, okay? Now, our other opportunity here for trading, sorry, I got to keep moving my screen around. Our other kind of scenario, I'm going to put this down right over here. Our other scenario would be a buy stop. So if, for example, let's go to a larger time frame. Let's go to the weekly chart. If I say, look, pound dollar looks really interesting. You know, we can see right here that it just kind of continues to hit this area, right? We have hit and hit and so on, right? It just keeps hitting this area, and I say, you know what? I want to buy once it gets above that. I'm going to buy the breakout. So if we're going to buy the breakout, that is going to be a buy stop. So again, I'm going to go to pending order, and I'm going to go to buy stop. Now again, buy limit means I'm buying a dip or I'm buying in lower than current market price. Buy stop means essentially I'm buying the breakout, or I'm buying higher than current market price. So if I say, okay, right now, you can see this right here. Right now, the pound dollar is trading at 134.88. I don't want to buy this until 135.20, right? I want to buy it about 30 or 40 pips higher than current market price. Then I would place my buy stop order there, and that's just a little above current market price, and that's a good scenario of saying, okay, you know, I want to get in as this breaks that high and, you know, and hopefully continues up that way. Okay? So that is what a buy limit versus buy stop order is. Now, same thing, this is appearing down here. This is appearing down here in my trade column below my current balance and equity and all of that stuff. Live trades will show up above. So if I get into a live trade right now, that's going to show up above. A pending order will show up below. And once it becomes a live trade and it gets filled, then it moves above this gray line right here. Okay? So that is the details of a buy limit versus buy stop. Now, I talked to a broker one time about this, and they said the exact opposite is true for a sell limit and a sell stop, and that immediately didn't make any sense to me. So let's talk about what a sell limit and a sell stop is. Let's go back over here. So we talked about what that buy limit and buy stop is. Let's go over here to sell limit and sell stop. So same concept, we just have to make sure we have the logic correct. If, for example, I look at this and I say, pound dollar has to go down. I want to see it double top and then dip lower. So I would place a sell limit right up there, a sell limit. That means I'm selling in at a higher than current market price. This is a sell limit. So I would just go right here and I'd place that order through just our typical pending order details, and that's going to be a sell limit. So if I say, okay, current market price is 134.85, I'm going to sell at 135.00. Boom. There's my sell limit, a little bit higher than current market price. Again, if I place this wrong, it's not going to let me place a trade. So if I input the parameters incorrectly, it won't let me do it. Okay, so just like a buy limit is buying the dip, a sell limit is selling the rally, is selling the spike. It runs higher, and then we're expecting it to go lower. If, on the other hand, we say, okay, here's a big area right here. You know, I think that's Oh, that's a terrible line. I think that this is good support, right? And I want to sell below that support. So if that's what I want to do, if I want to sell at a lower than current market price, that's where I'm going to use this over here, and I'm going to enter a sell stop. So if the current market price is 134.85, 90, I might sell at 134.50, meaning I want it to break out. So if you think about this with buy stops and sell stops and buy limits and sell limits and so on, with a buy stop and a sell stop, that means we're buying or selling the breakout, right? It's starting to run, and we're getting in on a sell stop at lower than current market price, and we think it's going to run lower, or on a buy stop, we're getting in at higher than current market price because we think it's going to run higher. A buy limit and a sell limit are more of a trending type methodology. We think something is going to do this, right? We think that we're going to have a pullback and a continuation. That would be a buy limit down there. And a sell limit would be, we think it's going to pull back and continue, kind of running that way. So sometimes it helps to understand the logic a little bit. A continuation of trend trade, getting in on a pullback is always going to be buy limits and sell limits. If we're trading a breakout, there's a sideways channel and it's real tight, and we just want to trade the breakout either direction, that would be a buy stop or a sell stop. We're going to trade the breakout. We're going to trade breakouts with buy stops and sell stops. We're going to trade pullbacks with buy limits and sell limits. I hope that's helpful to everybody. One last thing to look at, if you place any kind of limit order here, let's say this buy limit at 134.00, and we place that order and it ends up down here. Remember, you can always just double click on this and modify, right? Put in your stop loss, put in your take profit. You can also change the price. So if you want to get in at a higher or lower price, and you can add your stop loss or take profit. You do that by double clicking, or you can just right click and go to modify or delete. And that's where that is. Of course, you can always just get out of an order by clicking the X right there, delete, out and done. I hope that's helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck, happy trading. We'll keep it going from here. Thanks, guys.